too.
Malcolm had a hell of a time.
Marcy, I hope you get to feeling better. I'll come back to
Well,
you.
I'm on medication that's supposed to heal this, but it sure as hell isn't working yet.
I hope it starts.
Okay,
God,
where's
I
Mark?
hope so too.
Okay, which way, Mark?
Let me get keys.
John, y'all were talking about Malcolm's family's name, or his
Yes,
sister, or whoever? I didn't catch that.
Malcolm McCauley,
Malcolm
you know
McCoy's
who that
sister?
was?
Sure,
Okay,
yeah.
that's who my brother was named after.
Right, and then
But
his
I don't-
sister was over here from Scotland?
Yeah,
Yes,
he
and-
come over here.
He spent like a summer over
He
here.
spent the whole summer over here.
Okay.
They were from Edinburgh.
Her name was Colleen Glencannon.
Oh,
What was her name, Johnny?
Colleen Glencannon.
Glenn Cannon.
I remember that name, but I don't remember.
That's what Malcolm, his daughter named his boat.
That's right.
Colleen
That's right, I remember that
Glencannon.
now.
That's right,
Yep,
I
yep,
forgot
yep,
that.
yep.
Now, Malcolm McCauley was what to Mackie Ward?
Uncle
Uncle.
Mackie
Okay.
Moore. That's all right, we got lots of them.
Mackie Ward is named
That's what I
after
meant.
Mackie Moore too.
Got lots of them named after Mackie.
Mackie Moore's uncle was Malcolm McCauley.
He wasn't your typical boy. Johnny knows, he played, he did with these kids too, but he's always thinking of something to do bigger and better. And there's a lot of his life I wasn't involved in because he's a little bit older than me. But I read a letter from him last night to my husband, my first husband, who was his friend. And he said in that flying is his life, and he told my mom that too, that mother was always so worried about him. And he said, if it's my time, it's my time, it's my hands, I'm gonna take me where I want to go, and this is it, mother. He
Could you
told
repeat
Richard.
that? Could you repeat that? He said, if it's my time, it's my time?
Yes, and it's in my hands, it's in God's hands, and with mine, I'll go where I need to go. And it wasn't very long after that he was killed. But in the letter to Richard, he said in there what he wanted to do, and that's something I had never read before, that I remember. When he finished what he was doing on this cruise, he said he had another 4 years, I think it is. Don't repeat this. I mean, what I'm saying is probably a little different, but I think he said he had another 4 years or so to do whatever, and then he was gonna make captain, he said captain, and I'll have money coming in like crazy, and I'm gonna wanna get out and go by Kingsville and pick up that gal and marry her and go on with my life from there. And I probably will have some tourist courts somewhere, which threw me completely, because he never ran those courts. And flying, I will fly the rest of my life. So that's what he had in his mind to do, which I never knew. I mean, I figured it would be flying, but I never thought about it. And
well,
his flying
yeah.
career was, I also read the letter from the commanding officer aboard the ship last night, and maybe I've read it before, I don't know, but it's something you don't get into. And he had said about Mackie, that of the group of men he had in his squadron, that he was the most outstanding as far as loving to fly. He had the most hours, the most time in his plane, aboard ship and off the ship. All Mackie wanted to do was fly. The letter, I'm going back and forth now.
Okay.
The letter from him to Richard said he was standing guard that night at a, I guess, a coming and going place. And something he hated to do. He said, I'm in here to fly, and it got me guarding this gate, waiting on somebody to come in that's gonna fly somewhere, and I hate it. Sounded like you.
Had to pull his guard down.
Yeah, guard duty. But anyhow, the commanding officer was very complimentary to what he had attained at that point in life, which was only a few years, not long at all, to be in from flight school there.
Well,
And that his plane, they will never know what caused the accident. There are two possibilities. One was pilot error, like it is in all of them, and one was malfunctioning maintenance, or whatever you want to call it.
Malfunction in there, maintenance,
Yeah,
yeah.
and what they described to me, I remember that from the young man who came home and talked to my mother. That day was practicing for President Nixon or some dignitary coming aboard the ship, and they were practicing a flyby. And it was Buddy Day, and they had to change
I don't know who is
planes.
that fellow there?
And
That's
instead
Buddy
of flying
Belcher.
his plane,
Buddy.
he was flying his buddy's plane that day. His plane is 309.
First class,
this was
goddamn
302.
machinist or something.
And, when you
Took
went
it
off
to
the
3
carrier,
years, he put a full hitch in the service.
it dipped, which sort of startled him a little. I
Oh,
have to
yeah,
read it
me
to you.
though.
Okay.
And, then it came back up, which kind of, I guess the way I'm reading it is it just relieved
Well,
him,
Seaman, he's still,
Commander. And then
but
he
he and
said it
Seaman
just
both
went
still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wing over wing, straight in, and when the plane hit the water, it exploded. There were people there immediately, helicopter and cruiser or some boat, and there was nothing.
So it goes off the aircraft carrier, it drops, it comes up, and then starts doing that wing over wing tumble?
No.
Okay.
It came off the carrier
Quit
and
flying.
went down,
Mhm.
came up, and went wing to wing, right straight in the water like
Somebody
that.
You say wing to wing, like
This
spinning
way.
wing like that?
This way, no,
Okay.
it's like that.
It's like it.
Well, say like,
Stalled.
The
Say
wings
like-
were this way.
say like this is the plane and this pin is the wings. Show me what you're talking about.
Okay, it went just like this.
Okay,
Wing to, it said wing on end.
okay. So it's not like it's spinning, it just went like halfway over and went down, huh?
It's just, this is my
Okay.
husband.
Sure, go ahead, take your time. I'll catch up here in my notes.
Hello.
I thought
Yeah.
that also that flying that plane
Right,
that
yeah,
day,
that's
he
not funny.
volunteered to fly that plane.
No,
Because
it
it was
isn't.
new aboard the ship, and I know he would have to.
Okay, darling,
correct me.
okay, I'll call you when we
It
start.
was new aboard the ship, and they needed a volunteer to test
No,
the
it's
plane.
not
And
at
he
all.
volunteered because he loved the
Okay.
flight. And he
All
wasn't
right.
scared of anything.
But
And so
Okay.
apparently,
Yeah, shit, I better go
So you
ahead.
have some official records on all this?
I do, yes. I know I'm in the middle of something here, but
Okay.
they searched immediately and on the explosion, he was not able to get out. And, then.
They
it
didn't
was-
find his body or?
No, in Formosa, it's the deepest part of the ocean in that area, and his plane, what's there, what's left is there,
Down at the bottom,
somewhere.
Formosa?
They said there's no bottom. You
And-
go so far down and it's right there.
and there was no body retrieved, so he couldn't be buried here or anywhere
No,
else.
we had a funeral with an empty coffin, which is horrible.
Of
What
course.
year?
57,
Fifty-
July the 7th.
57?
Yeah,
We got a copy of the news story.
yeah, I have it. I have the obituary and all of that at home, but I didn't bring that. I didn't bring the letter. It's too emotional, too upset. And I also brought something and I don't see it. And I brought a letter handwritten by my mom that must have been made a copy of to the VFW hall, giving hers and dad's permission to use
Oh, there you
Maggie's
go.
name.
Wow. No,
I've got a picture I wanna show you.
before
Of
you,
you and,
go, I
Dad
wanna, oh, you know what I should.
and Sonny.
Come here.
Where
No, I
it
just
was
realized I should have
taken
taken a
galaxy
picture of
the
y'all
day
while
that
Marcy
Dad and
was
Mama
still
were
here.
Where's it at, man?
Picture. I'll,
It's at the house.
We've got
I'll
lots
have
of
to-
fun
one of these
stories
days
to
I'll
tell
come
you
door
about
knock.
him being here
Okay?
when he was flying.
Picture me and you now?
Sonny Matthews and Dad on Dad's wedding day.
Oh, look at that.
And Galveston and that case.
Oh my gosh.
Some of what you were telling me, that stuff from the letter to his mother, the letter from the commanding officer of the ship. I don't want to,
I know.
put anything in that would be embarrassing to the family or anything. Some of that
I'm gonna run
sounds
along.
good. Maybe if I could
Good.
just get little
I didn't-
pieces of it.
Sure.
I didn't
I'll
do
get you on the
nobody no
phone,
good. I see
and,
you,
and
Pepper.
maybe you could read some
Why?
pieces of it to me.
I keep feeling heavy over the phone today.
You're pretty good hugger, ain't you?
Yes, I am.
Pretty good hugger.
Hugging and kissing.
I see y'all.
All right.
Bye, Bubba.
Bye-bye, thanks for coming.
Yeah, well, I didn't know too much about Mikey.
No, you don't, because he was a teenager growing up and
A
then.
lot
gone.
younger than me, and then,
We'll do it again. We'll talk about boats.
yeah.
About him, we can also tell you stories
I put my
about
time in
him.
there too.
We gotta wait
4
for
years,
him.
3 months, 10 days I was in the Coast Guard.
Yes, and I have some really cute pictures of you there too.
First class boatswain mate when I been there.
You got in illegally, right?
And, yeah, joined right here in this Coast Guard station there, June 1941.
You're too young.
Me and Dewey Ryer and, who else? Goddamn, who else? Somebody else. I went in as a
Did they hold his funeral at St. Joseph Catholic Church?
second class,
And,
second class boatswain
I
went
guess
on
it's
John
nothing
funeral.
they didn't establish
Having a
anything.
guide
on
license
roll
and all
call
that
or
stuff.
anything. I
And
mean,
Dewey
there's
them
no
made
body, but I mean, I know
copies
sometimes
when
there'll be
they-
a monument or something, no?
And
They
then Curly
did.
Denton went in
After they named it.
several months after we did, and
They
they
named
put
it.
him in some bitch one of the
That's
goddamn
DFW.
two.
It's more McDonald's.
Pissed me off too, boy. I said, goddamn,
Right.
he made it seem like way to the wall, I
How
would've
long
made it
ago?
seem.
I have that.
I
You
never
had
did
that?
make
It's a
it.
piece
I
of
got
paper out of a
two,
notebook.
you know,
We
two
can
To
court
whom it
martials
may
going on in the
concern,
service.
Okay.
mom and daddy, mother's handwriting.
Okay.
Lucky I
Give
didn't.
the permission for.
Ain't in the
my
jail
son's
so much
name to
still
be
yet.
used as their more McDonald.
I would love to
Well,
find,
we'll-
well, I'll get you on the
picture
phone
to you,
later,
brother.
and
Yeah.
maybe you have it at home,
Why the
I
hell?
think.
Fax
Glad
it to
you
you.
came in.
Oh, okay, alright.
I got a
I
court
had
martial
it
when I
with
won
me this
old
morning.
Coast
That was
Guard,
one of the
Gutter
ones I
Woodbury, and one in
bring. There was so many that.
Galveston there to get my court
Seems
martial. And
like
the first
this.
guy I seen was little Harvey Wilder.
This is
God
just
damn,
a
how you
plain
doing, Harvey? He
line.
said, God damn, made a bad mistake. I'm
Just one.
prostituting
And
the
you can't
attorney.
read it, but I have a picture somewhere of him standing by that plane
Wow.
written on the
Such thing
outside.
as that was prostituting the attorney.
MT.
Got out of it.
No bull to get that.
309. What was that plane?
I see y'all.
Okay, be careful, Bo.
Yeah,
First flight ever.
I ain't in the best goddamn shape in the world
July
myself,
7th,
but it's
1956.
sick all the time.
I'm sorry. I was married in 56.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't get out there.
February 56. At 1 o'clock, flying the F9F Cougar. He was flying 302 when accident occurred. His craft was 310. Mackmore on the side, flying in Squadron 214. I mean, this is just what's written here on this little
He's
thing.
flying jets.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Cougar,
flying.
yes.
What kind of a jet is it?
F9F Cougar, Cougar. Cougar.
One more time. F9F.
It was a Grumman aircraft.
I gotta turn this in. Okay, F9F Kruger?
Cougar.
Cougar.
How do you spell that?
Cougar.
Oh, Cougar
Is
like
there
the,
a photo
like
in
the car.
there?
I mean like the,
Huh?
Is there a photo of a cougar in it?
Yes, and there's probably much better ones. I'm just doing that one because you can read the 909 if you have that thing on here to see it.
Oh, okay.
So this is the plane that Mac was in?
Right there.
It's in flight?
Not crashing,
But
That's
it, yeah.
that's in
What
flight.
type of plane you found?
Is that in flight?
yeah.
That's in
This
flight.
is Mac right there.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
You can, because I know it's on there, but I can't see that. And there's the memorials of the boys who lost their lives on that boat, and this is not during wartime, okay? That's one thing that always fascinated me about veterans. Go ahead.
Close
Flying lady.
The
This isn't
Yorktown.
Lex, is it?
No, he
No,
was
it's a
on the
Yorktown.
legs, but this is a Yorktown, which is a
Yorktown?
very
Okay.
famous,
Oh,
very
yeah.
famous ship.
Ooh, that's hot. I gotta see that sometime.
The book?
The whole book.
Please do, please
You
do.
gotta see the whole book.
Well, y'all can keep it here and
Will you
look
leave
at
it
it.
with us and
Yes,
we'll scan
yes,
it?
yes. Now, here's what she had on that page right there. I don't want to lose that page. And the other letter was in here also that I had.
7:56.
I just don't know how well.
1 o'clock. Anyhow, this admiral was coming, either admiral or president was coming over for.
Closer in
a
case
view
we
on
lose
that
our
ship.
sound.
Got to,
Sound is kinda hard to get sometimes.
parade was for.
I'm gonna lose my
fly-by.
battery here.
F9F8 Cougar.
You want a little more coffee, gentlemen?
Yeah, about half cup.
Oh,
And I have an actually,
I'll bet you would do.
I'm making a trip.
Mark.
you know, I don't wanna dwell too much on his funeral, cause it's such a sad thing. I wanna dwell more on his life, but those would you call it a military?
Yes.
Military, obviously, it must have been military honors. It must have been something for a military honor type
Here.
funeral to come to Port Aransas. What did it look like and sound like? Can y'all describe it? I mean, did they have, you know, an honor guard? I mean,
Were you here for the funeral?
Yeah, but I can't remember that. I
I
was not,
was
I
too.
wasn't there.
was
What,
not
what
there.
y'all?
It was, basically
An empty coffin sitting up there
empty
with a flag
coffin
on
in
it.
there, but the military brought the coffin.
Yeah, they were military.
They placed it in the old Catholic church. And then when the ceremony was over, then they had the, color guard outside to play taps and then give the, 3-gun salute. Yeah. Or fired rifles, and you know,
Seven,
how they
I
do.
think it's 7.
Then the-
And I don't remember if they had a flyby or not, but I'm sure they did
A what?
flyby. He was in that
I
group
think,
here before.
I think
it's
it
right
was
before
in
that.
there, but everybody's so content on the
Yeah, on the service.
outside activities going on, you know, the taps and the,
Now, you were there for that funeral.
Yeah,
I was in New
Because
Jersey
I
when
thought
he was
that you told me the
killed.
other day
probably
you
didn't pay
weren't.
much attention.
And I could just as remember you and Dad both sitting up front
Yeah,
together.
we were in New Jersey
I thought maybe I
when it
was.
happened, and they flew us
Presbyterian
out.
Church?
No, Catholic.
Catholic.
The little bitty one.
Can I ask you?
The church is still,
let me ask
the
one more.
building
behind
is
the
still there,
community center.
behind,
I can't
Right.
believe,
fancy color
Sure,
shops.
the original, yeah. the
So you can get
old road.
2 or 3 good Matthew family in there and it's full, cause that's where I was married.
I
And
couldn't
they
The
were,
believe
drive's loud.
they lined up outside, cause I was told, you don't ask more people to a wedding than what sits in the church. And I said, well, yeah, but you're not married to the Matthew family, so outside that church, down to the end of the road and around where people standing, that Dad and I walked through.
They
to
would
get
leave
in.
all the windows up for something like that so people could look through the windows.
I
You
can't
mean,
really
you mean at the
believe.
funeral?
No,
Oh,
this was wedding and
wedding,
funeral at the
okay,
same
wedding.
time, February
Okay,
one,
I remember that was a big funeral.
yes.
Really?
Yeah,
Who's
big
Right.
bunch of people. There
Right
was
before
no
that.
burial.
You were there, right?
Yes, I was there.
How old were you?
Well, Mackie was 23, I was 22.
How many people do you think were at that funeral?
I couldn't
100,
guess.
200, 300?
No,
Oh, no, it wasn't that many.
75.
50
I don't think we
to-
had that many people.
On the island?
Yeah. It
I
was a
don't know,
big
but Manny
funeral.
and I did count one day on our way to school during that time. We had 80-something first kin on this island. You remember that?
Wow.
Counting them in the car.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot of kin folks.
And
Just
there were only
first.
about 325 people living here at
I
that
know
time.
when he was
That would
taking
be
his,
second king.
Yeah,
he
that'd be
was
sick.
doing his flat training over in Kingsville.
Yeah.
I taught school here one
Now,
time, I
wait a
had
minute.
12
Now,
kids.
you're gonna
and
start
all but
telling
one of them
stories
was
on me,
kindergarten.
weren't you?
That's when he was flying, starting on the jet, you know, and everything, trainer jet. He'd come pull Randy's all the time in that jet in there. We could be sitting in.
You gonna tell it? Okay, I was wanting
We
somebody
could
to
be
tell it.
sitting in the hangout cafe or in Matthews, either one in there, and all of a sudden that building would just shake.
Yeah, that's scary.
Boom.
Well, I'll tell you about 3 or 4 different instances, and maybe you shouldn't put these in the paper, but you might want to know them.
That's it.
Well,
I was
that part
trying-
he just told me I
I
love.
was trying to
Okay,
keep
but
my
I
mouth
mean,
shut
I
on
don't
that.
I'll put my
want you
pin
to-
down for this next one if you
I
want.
don't want the Navy to come down on us because of what he did over here.
Oh,
He
they
was
won't do that.
notorious.
That's
That's
old.
too
It's so
long
long
ago.
ago,
That's too long
and
ago.
and the fact that he's passed
That's
away,
old
I just
history.
can't see him doing
He
it.
was fishing in the Gulf with a man.
Yeah.
And Mackie saw him, and he buzzed him. Well, he said he saw that old man go over in his chair like this, completely over, and Johnny Martin's looking, where in the world? And Mackie was just gone. That happened. Then he was going down the island road.
Well, I was gonna tell Henry
This is
Olsen.
one I
Henry
love.
Olson, our sheriff, was driving down the island road.
But the road was being constructed.
Mhm,
It was still being built.
mhm.
Well, Mackie saw that car and recognized it, and
And
he
he
went right
and
over the
Henry
top
didn't
of him.
necessarily
And
get
you know
along.
that a jet, you don't hear until it's passed.
It's scary as can be.
And he
It's
pulled that
scary.
car off the side of the road, Mackie said, and got out of it looking all over like, what in the world
And
happened?
he must have dipped pretty low.
He did.
He did.
The most memorable of all was that I saw, when Mom and I were in bed sleep one morning, and he came over early to say hello, good morning to us, I guess. And he was flying down the beach. Well, I guess he went over the house first, okay. He went over the house first and the Presbyterian church, very low, and got us up. And we went running out, and the minister of the Presbyterian church, now it wasn't Mr. Crown, it was after him, red, I can't remember, anyway. That plane was flying down the beach like that, and the sun, it was just
Wow.
gorgeous, absolutely. And he said, Miss Moore, can you imagine some crazy fool doing what that guy's doing? And she said, no, I cannot. And we just went right along with it. And it was Mackie. And then another day,
Yeah.
Buster Noakes was driving down the street, and he had Mr. Gibbs in the car with him. Please don't put this in there. Because
Okay.
Gilbert will kill me.
This-
Gilbert was just a little boy, and he was riding down the street on his bicycle, coming toward Buster in his command truck that had Mr. Gibbs in it. Gilbert, Gibbs, and Mr. Gibbs. And Mackie flew over that street and scared the hell out of Gilbert and everybody else. And Gilbert ran into the truck, okay, in the front of it like this. And Mr. Gibbs came down to my mother, and he said, Miss Moore, I want to tell you that your son near caused my son's death. And she said, what? And he told him that he flew over, and she said, there's no way you could tell me that was my son. Mackie wouldn't do something like that. which, I mean, but we know it
She already
was.
had.
Well, sure, he did it several times before he left and went off to war.
Johnny, you said that you were telling me a couple different places where you might be when he might buzz it. You mentioned Matthews and another place, and you said the whole building would shake.
Hang out cafe.
And the Hangout Cafe, so they're real close by.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But I remember being down there when you flew over, and Lode told my mother there was somebody standing beside her and said, I wonder who that is. It's probably nobody from Port Aransas. Nobody over here's got enough sense to fly an airplane. And Lode said she had to bite her tongue.
That there was fighting words.
That's fighting words.
Well, he was special, but he sure liked speed,
He
didn't he?
did like speed.
Even back then, you had to have a college education to fly.
Well, no, he didn't. He left college in his junior year, and in
But you had to have 2 years of college.
2 years, okay.
And so, and he majored in math. He was a good mathematician. He majored in math.
and girls.
And girls. But he got his 2 years college behind him and joined the Navy to become a pilot.
And he did a total of 3 years, is
No,
that right? Just 2 years?
2 years.
He got
Where?
56, 54,
Mm, yeah,
55,
yeah.
Kingsville?
At A&I.
55, 56.
So does
1 year, 1 year. When did he join in?
Well, he got 2 years of college behind him because he wanted to be a pilot.
Okay, but tell me, when would he have gone in? I was there 1 year. I was there in 54, 55,
Well,
and that's
right.
when he was there. He was in Corpus and Kingsville.
Yeah, but he was flying, but
Training.
he wasn't in school.
No, he was training, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
So he had to be in a year.
Well, by the
And
time I
then he went
started
to
college in
California.
53, and he was already doing his thing.
53.
Yeah, and he was, I was not the smartest kid, so I took 5 years to get out of high school. Mackie took the regular 4. And he was a year older, minus 10 days, being a year older than me. But he had already gotten into school down at A&I. He got his 2 years behind him and got out of there. By the time I
I
got
can't
into
tell you the
school.
date he was inducted, but I know it's written down somewhere in those papers.
There was no university in Corpus.
Well, it was CCSU, Corpus Christi.
Who, you?
Corpus Christi State University.
Well, but it wasn't that, it was
What are you talking about?
Corpus Christi, about when we went to school. It was a 4-year school, it was a Baptist school, and it was owned by Miss Butt.
In Corpus?
Yeah, what did they call it?
I didn't go to school there.
University of Corpus, UCC.
Yeah,
University of Corpus
UCC.
Plug in.
It was a 4-year school.
Plug in.
It won't work that way. That's
Me
no
and
dinosaur.
Mackie,
Take that
when
one
we
off
was
if you
going
want.
to school, we was going here to high school in Port Aransas. We went to the 10th grade. Then
Yes.
I'm gonna
his
move
mother
closer,
knew he
Mark.
wanted to fly, he
Take it
was
out
gonna
my hand.
fly. She already knew that.
That's an idea.
So in order for him to
Figure
get
out that math.
a credit, Port Aransas wasn't accredited school at that time.
It wasn't accredited.
So she could send him to Randall's Pass, to high school over there.
So that's where he graduated?
Well, yeah. So the process, and there's, she asked my daddy, said if I would be interested in going over there. Cause me and Mackie, were real close. And so, and Dad asked me, I said, well, I'd love to. But I want to play football. Ain't no paid my tuition.
I can take this off.
And we went in the same grade.
When my dad sent me with you guys, remember, I was freshman.
Little
year
brat
overall
that
already.
tagged
When
along.
we got there,
That was,
I went into playing football. Well, Mackie did too. Mackie wasn't a violent person. He was a very easygoing type of
Lover,
guy.
he called himself.
And when we got in playing football in there, we was out there scrimmaging, getting prepared for a regular game. I was in for the rough and tumble part of it. Mackie, he got hit out there. They plowed him under out there, and he came up with a bloody nose, and he was wiping his nose. So that afternoon when he went in there, he turned his suit in. He said, "That football's not my game."
Along those lines, we used to dance at what they call the Beachcombers patio down there by the Hangout Cafe.
Yeah.
and it got a big scrap going on one time. John Martin, you were involved in it, and Joyce Lester, remember, she got
I think he
punched out
started
and
it.
everything. And anyway, it just turned into
Melee.
turmoil. And I was I was certainly not into anything like that, for my size, for one thing. But I looked around, and Mackie was standing up on a beer box with his hands behind his back like this. I said, "What
Well,
are you
those-
doing up there?" He said, "I ain't crazy."
Those
Give me your
boys
hand.
that
And
they
so he pulled
picked
me up there.
on, those
Everybody
boys.
else went around just thrashing each other, but we sat up there and watched it and didn't get hit.
How big was he, by the way? How tall was he when he was growing up?
6'1".
6'1".
And
Wow.
I have a 15-year-old right now, just turned 15 this month, 6'1". And we think that's where he gets his
Where is
start.
that picture of the dredge? Okay.
I
I was 15.
I don't wanna take too much more time.
I was 15 here, and Mackie was 16. And you can see how tall he was in regard to the rest of the people there. He was 16 years old.
Oh, okay.
That's in the tall one there?
Which one now? Is he?
Mackie's the thing right here in front of the
Okay, right in front of the bar?
bar.
Yeah, okay, yep, and there he is, all
And he was
6'1".
16 years
Where,
old.
which one?
He is, that one right there is Mackie
In
Moore.
front of that boom,
In
okay.
front of the boom, with the cap on.
Yeah.
Okay, now,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I've been in and out and missed bits and pieces. Did we talk about that it was not Mackey's plane he was flying? Did we cover that?
Yeah. They
It
did
was
talk about that.
302, and you can see it in that book, and he was in 302, and his plane is 309.
And is it true, and did you talk about that, the normal pilot for that plane did come visit?
Yes.
Did y'all discuss that too? Good.
Oh, the
one that- Was flying in the two.
The
It was
one who-
his plane.
The one who should have been
His
flying
buddy,
that plane.
called Buddy's Day, Buddy
Well,
Swamp.
didn't Mackie volunteer to fly the plane that day?
I
Or
don't
is
know,
that just something
Manny.
that's in
I
my
don't
head?
know how they did it. I
think,
understand, he said Buddy Swamp, they had to change planes.
Okay.
That was something that they did on
So it's called a
standard,
buddy swap.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they changed
Yeah.
I think Mackey's plane
and that didn't,
supposed to be in maintenance. And he had to fly this other plane, you know, in his
I
place.
knew he flew a plane that was not his plane.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay.
he wasn't actually
I
real
think it's on one
familiar
of those
with the
pieces of
plane,
paper
you
where
know
Mother
what I mean?
jotted down stuff, but,
Somebody said something about it being a new aircraft to
Well,
the ship.
it was the same aircraft that
I
he's
said that a while
flown,
ago, but evidently I was
but
wrong.
it's like all aircraft, it's like an automobile.
No,
It
that's
That's mine. You-
what's that
Everyone
piece of
works-
paper?
has its own
Whole
peculiarity.
thing, yeah. Mhm.
And if you're not familiar with it, you know, when you step in there,
That's it.
you've got to learn it. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, cause I'm
That-
looking
that's
for a
just
piece, but I
the
don't
image I
see
have.
it here that I have.
So was there ever an official from the Navy that said this is what happened?
Yes, I have that letter. I read it last night.
Did they
Yes.
call it mechanical error
No,
or
they
anything?
did not.
They
He
didn't
said
know.
they'll never know. And
Okay.
it was the commanding officer that wrote the letter.
That's-
And he said, I will
Can you imagine
always
$2.75
believe that it was mechanical
car
because of Mackey's ability to fly and
Yeah.
his
I
hours
think it
and
was
his.
too. Somehow they had a compressor stall. or something, and it just
Well,
went
you
on.
just have to read
Quit
what he
flying.
said in the letter about it, but that also could be a commander
just like
writing the
that.
mother of this child.